episode 37. Tonight, I am conversing with the extraordinary Patrick Scanlon, North Broward Prep class of 2020. So we're bringing the millennials, right, Pat? Or you're Gen Z? I'm not sure.
Gen Z.
We're bringing Generation Z into the conversation as we discuss the theme tonight, mentoring creativity. And I'm really excited to talk about it with Patrick because this is quite the time that I think everyone out there in the world is going to need a lot of creativity to finagle through, because this has been something that none of us has ever gone through. And most certainly we're going to need the flexibility and creativity to see a better way at the end of the day. Right, Pat?
Correct. That is correct.
That's correct. So Patrick Scanlon, let me introduce the show first, and then I'm going to introduce your wonderful curriculum vitae. I see that you have your graduation cap on right now. So it's true that you are going to be able to walk this coming July, correct?
Yes, July 25th, we have a planned tentative date to graduate at our school. So I'd like to thank my school for trying to make that happen. So
very excited about that. I'm so happy that's happening because I know that you've worked so hard these last years. And I know that to walk across the stage to get that diploma in your hand is going to be something of closure, which is what you're going to be looking for in this particular interview today. So let's go ahead and let me explain to you the format of Manifesting with Meg. Basically, it's based upon my book, The Magical Guide to Bliss. It is a 366 insights for the year. And at this point in time, we're going to discuss what's happening with Awakening Creativity in May. So I'm super excited to have you because I don't know anyone who was born more creative than you, Patrick Scanlon. From the day you came into this world with your leprechaun green to the Disney Dazzle with your Find the Hidden Mickey book, you have always exuded a creative spark that has inspired the best of us. So I can't wait to discuss it with everyone who's going to be listening tonight. Certainly you are going to give hope for the next generation because bottom lining, you are going to think outside the box. And I know we have great faith in what's going to happen with the world under the fortitude of your class having to deal with what you're doing in a creative, actually going through everything in a creative way. So I'm super excited to talk to you. So I do want to give a little bio background as to your accomplishments, because certainly as the senior class president of class of 2020 at North Broward Prep, you have actually brought so much leadership as well as enlightenment to your school, as well as to your classmates who get to benefit by your example. So you are in fact graduating as the senior class president of your school. And this is not the first year you've been in student government. This is the fourth year you've been in student government. So I really commend you for that. Not only have you been a leader in student government, but you've also shown leadership at the Eagles Landing Camp, correct? Eagles Landing Camp. You've been a camper and a counselor for many years now. I wasn't sure how many years, but certainly you have been a person on that campus during the camp days. So I can't wait to show everyone this is something that Patrick has been in fact a part of on his campus at ELC. Certainly very patriotic as he wears his green, like I said, and goes riding in with the American flag, which is definitely a signature Patrick move for sure. He also has been on his football team for many years now. I think you played both offense and defense, and you've gotten many awards in that respect. You are up for the Brian Piccolo Award this Wednesday, so we're very excited that you've been nominated. It's an incredible honor. As well, you've received the Reagan Leadership Medal and Award, which I'm really proud of. You can talk more about that. You're a National Honor Society student. You're also on the chess club as the president, and I love the cricket club.
Great club. Yeah.
Not many people know what even cricket is, but yet you are the president. I'd love to hear about that too. The chess club president, and you also have excelled in your community works with over 450 hours of community service, which is something that is very incredible for people, for all of us to be aware of, that there are kids or young adults who are giving back to the community with hours of service, which is very amazing. My favorite part is that you are Walt Disney aficionada, and you probably know that park better than anybody that I know. And certainly you know where the hidden Mickeys are for sure. And I think since a baby, you were born into this world to, bring a lot of laughter and lightheartedness. And certainly the sky is the limit for you, Patrick, as you are ready to embark on your college career. Wherever you go right now, we're all going to be like watching you guys to see what you do with all of this and move forward. So May, like I said, the month of creativity. What are your thoughts now with regard to the end of your high school career with all this craziness happening? And how are you keeping your class inspired to see the end is near and also embrace actually what the future has to hold for you right now?
Yeah, it's definitely a surreal experience, something I didn't think I would have to deal with, obviously. But I think our school and our student government has done a good job, or a great job, keeping the students involved, keeping them informed. We gave out signs, senior signs, to we had a little drive-through thing the teachers did. They had groups of like athletic teachers, they had groups of fine arts teachers, groups of history, science teachers. They all went out in like groups and gave the signs, took a picture with the kids at like a socially distanced 6 feet. And I felt like that was cool to know, like our teachers and our school is really still in it for us. Definitely something we try to do in student government. We produce this YouTube channel, NB Plus, quick plug. It keeps students entertained and informed. I released some content on there from all this year, stuff that we've done, stuff that we are planned to do for future years. But I definitely think student government and this whole situation, we've been on top of the ball trying to keep people, engaged in school and informed as well.
So, when you have something like this happen, like we're closing down everything, and you realize, oh my God, that means that you're closing down the schools. I'm not going to be able to do everything that I was hoping to do at the end of the year. What actually goes through your mind as someone who's about to graduate to the last 3 months of your high school career in North Broward Prep?
Yeah, it definitely is something that I probably hasn't set in for most seniors yet. A lot of them are not going to have the chance to walk across the stage or, have that last class with that one of their favorite teachers, which is really a sad thing. But, life moves on, and we're going to have to, we have the opportunity and the privilege to hopefully graduate July 25th at our school. Something I know I'm grateful for, that our school is going out and above and beyond trying to make that happen. But yeah, definitely, something that probably hasn't set in for most seniors yet.
So let me ask you this. Have you been well, I know you're going to classes at home, correct? You're in homeschool at this point. And I know that you're about to take your AP courses, the exams at home, which is going to be a different experience. I'm sure you didn't expect that. But like let me ask you a little bit about like when you're talking to your classmates, your friends that have pretty much been with you since you started, what's going on in that community? I know that you're doing a lot with regard to keeping everybody excited and engaged, because I know that I just saw, and I'm going to put this in the feed. I just saw your Iguana Tours, expedition, like literally amazing creativity is abounding there. But like, how do you take care of each other at this point?
Definitely try to schedule a couple, extra Zoom hangout meetings with your friends. Definitely make sure to keep in contact. People, some people are lonely. A lot of people are lonely at this time, especially, people without families, but people with families, can get a little hectic, a little crazy being with your family 24/7. So try to have that, put some time aside for your friends. I know my friend Marcus and I, we did a little bike ride. We got some exercise. We surprised a couple of our friends at their houses. We talked to them in their yards. Definitely, I think it made an impact. It was nice to see their faces again, in real, not over the screen.
It's like you got forced to separate before you even were able to go through the traditional ritual of saying goodbye to the school as well. I really find what you're doing with regard to the North Broward Prep YouTube channel. It's a YouTube channel, right, Patrick?
Yeah, it's a YouTube channel, correct.
And who came up with that idea as far as, keeping the community engaged in school still and still, having those experiences, even though you have to be socially distant?
Oh yeah, we decided as a group it was probably best to put some content out there. People were, people have Netflix and people have Disney Plus to watch and Hulu and all that stuff. But we felt that it was good to keep them informed on what's going on campus. We have interviews with the headmaster on there, as well as keeping them entertained with some content that we could put out for in regards to the school events we planned and stuff like that.
I know that this is an opportunity perhaps maybe to get out and connect with the community as large. And you're getting a lot of hellos on the side. So they're all saying hello to you right now, Patrick. One of my former teachers, Mike Spatola, is on here. Is an amazing friend at this point. And people are all wanting to support the high school graduates as well as the college graduates right now, because we understand what we got to go through. And we actually took it perhaps for granted. And now we're seeing you guys, have to, turn around and, do something special with something very different outside the box. You have to think now, because let me tell you, there's a lot of, highlights of your high school career that you definitely want to remember. So if I gave you this chance right now, what are some of the highlights of your high school career that you want to look back on fondly and remember well?
I think definitely high school, definitely, it was the senior year, or was it all of high school experience? It was
everything, whatever comes to mind at this point.
I'm going to remember the little things, the little interactions I had with some of you have your group of friends that you see on an off-campus basis, but you also have like a group of friends that you don't necessarily see all the time, but you have in classes and you have a good time with. So I'll definitely remember the little memories I had with them. Like we were the last class to have Miss Condon. She was a beloved teacher that we may have, kicked out because we were so crazy, but we don't have to. But definitely all the little things, just little experiences, little tiny things that, probably will go forgotten, which I probably don't want to happen. Those are the things I'd want to remember most.
So what about your journey so far? Like looking back and seeing the journey and where you started and now where you are. Tell us a little bit about, how you've seen that trajectory and where you're going now, like what you'll take from this whole thing as far as your future career.
I'm definitely going to take out of this a lesson that just take life less seriously. I feel like a lot of people take themselves too seriously. There's a lot of built up aggression when we could just, not take ourselves too seriously, be open to a discussion, be open to, new ideas and stuff like that by, be able to laugh at yourself, being able to, joke about certain things.
Well, you definitely have an incredible sense of humor for sure. And I think that that's one of the best things about you is that you're able to take some very heavy topics and turn them into something very lighthearted by virtue of how you come at it, which what you're just saying is, there's a great quote, life is too important to be taken seriously. So basically you're already on that at this young age before you go on to the next part of your career. So how have you in fact done that? Have you taken a situation that, literally is, shocking to so many people and making it really into, lemons to lemonade?
Yeah, that's a good question. Something I've decided to take less seriously is probably, I wouldn't say this pandemic. This is definitely something you need to be taken seriously, but definitely whenever I'm in an argument with my friends, I try to step back and say, this is dumb. We're all friends here. Definitely open to more things, which is, I think that has, allowed me to be more open in regards to, say political arguments in a history class or, arguments about a book in English class. Definitely try to keep an open mind to all sides of the spectrum. And that's sort of.
This is all about mentoring creativity tonight, and then May is all about awakening creativity, which is one of my favorite things. And when you're creating something, you're bringing something out that is basically standing on the shoulders of giants. You go further, and basically that means that you take what you've learned, this education that you've been given these last 4 years plus, and then you build on it and make it your own. So when we talk about mentoring creativity, the quote today is for mentoring begins when your imagination can fall in love with the fantasy of another. And I would love to hear how that in fact speaks to you, if at all.
Could you read the quote one more time?
Yes. So mentoring begins when your imagination can fall in love with the fantasy of another.
I think that's just, going all in on an idea. you don't want to step back and say this is outlandish, this is too crazy to be done. I feel like when I take on a deemed impossible project, I think that's indeed more fun and more entertaining than a mundane task, because you can see if you can push yourself to see if you can actually do this. You can actually make the impossible happen, which I feel like is something people need to strive to do.
Speak to that a little bit more. So when you see something that you think is impossible, instead of stepping back, you engage to find the possibilities within. Speak a little bit more.
Definitely when someone says something's impossible, I would say I definitely nix that as a whole. Definitely say there's parts of that could work, and who knows, but if you make parts of those that work, who says the whole thing can't work? So I think impossible is a term that, I think we should stop using.
Instead of impossible, they say I'm possible, which is,
I'm possible. Yeah,
I'm possible. Me, I'll bring the little inspirational slant whenever I can, Patrick. Yes, since Patrick is in fact my nephew, which I couldn't be more proud of him, and he's the oldest of all of my side's cousins. So watching him take something of an opportunity out of something that would be considered negative and showing resilience and all watching you is really going to inspire the younger ones as well. So I couldn't be more proud of you, Patrick. You definitely show a lot of resilience, and certainly I can't wait to see where you take it for your life. So now, as we're talking about you as being the president of your student government. And I know the different campaigns that you engaged in to engage your creativity. Can you tell us a little bit about those? Because I know that we used to get the pictures all the time and we were loving it, because, it's always amazing to see what comes out of somebody's imagination. And I would love to show, certainly you all have a flair for the creative as well. Yes, Patrick?
Yes. Going back on those campaigns, what I tried to do there was definitely add a lighter side to the campaign. I took Obama's main thing of "Yes, we can," turned it into "Yes, we scan" at the rainbow.
Because your last name is?
Last name is Scanlon, so "Yes, we scan."
I love it.
Little words there. Definitely, added some movie references. I had what was it? It was an Anchorman one. My English project, a group of us had to dress up as the Anchorman Will Ferrell movie news team. So it was voting for Patrick Scanlon is kind of a big deal. That was another one of those.
I love it.
But definitely a chance to go full in on your creative side. I definitely think the student body appreciated it, which is why I had my 3 terms in office.
3 terms. You're very proud of those 3 terms, right?
3 terms, correct.
Very amazing. I think that one of the cool things about you is that you've loved movies your entire life. Certainly Will Ferrell has been a character in the movies that you've aligned with as far as the humor is concerned. And, I was always wondering, I'm a big person. I have lots of mentors out in the world who mentor my creativity. Perhaps they're famous, not so famous, but who, if you had a chance to pick someone that you could meet that is very creative and very exciting, who would that be?
I'd probably say Walt Disney, alive or dead, right? So Walt Disney definitely is a once in a lifetime creative person that. Definitely once in a lifetime kind of personality, a different person, making that his dream of, spending time with his children as a family in a family place, definitely making that a reality is definitely something a creative person like Walt Disney accomplished and, inspired many other inspired many other people to become creative throughout their lifetimes.
Yeah. And literally, he's impacted your life from, I would say, maybe your mother took you there when you were in diapers. So,
yeah.
So you have been exposed to the imagination and creativity of Walt Disney. How do you think that has impacted your life as you become a young man and go out and embark on your career?
Definitely it has taken a toll on me, a positive toll. Seeing what they're able to make, what Disney was able to make out of nothing, out of that land of, what was it, the potato fields or something like that. It was just like land. Oh, it was like orange groves. Definitely turning that swampland, and all those that unused land in Southern California to, one of the deemed the happiest place on earth. Definitely something I look forward to, making lemons out of lemons, or making lemonade out of lemons.
That's very cool. And, I'd like to offer everyone the opportunity who's listening today to offer us your creativity and certainly put advice that you would give to the class of 2020 in the feed so that he can take this with him. And you can also offer the mentoring of the creativity as well so that you can impact the class of 2020. I know certainly Patrick has lots of tidbits that are exceptional to share. I would like to point out once again that Patrick is quite an exceptional person, certainly in everything that he does. This is a award he won at his football gala or football dinner. Correct, Patrick? Is this the picture of your coaches, correct?
Yeah, that's my defensive coordinator and my head coach, yes. And
you were receiving a certificate at the end of your season as well, is that right?
Yeah, this was for highest GPA on the football team, not to, a little self appreciation there. But yes, this was
awesome. So you had the highest GPA on your football team for your senior class. Amazing. Amazing. And what does that mean? How has your education been important to you as far as what you start with and what you go forward with?
Yeah, I definitely try to keep a holistic view of education. You're not just if you're going to school and just leaving when the bell rings, I feel like, you have a day that you could have done something with. I feel like, whether it was I had football practice after school, whether I had basketball practice, whether I had student government meetings, whether I had, cricket club meetings. I feel like I always wanted to be on campus. Like, I didn't want to miss a thing. If that's that sense of FOMO, fear of missing out. Definitely had me there. I wanted to be able to experience all that I could, have all those viewpoints throughout high school. And I feel like I did so. And band as well.
Your mother's pointing out that Mrs. Allison Hendricks Lete, your kindergarten teacher, she impacted you greatly. You have fond memories of her?
Yes. Mom!
We should have her on the interview with you. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm pretty positive this was a class where I was given my own corner to draw and to create as like Patrick's corner. It was a lot, definitely was a great use of space or use of, a creative outlet I had in my little corner, make art projects and stuff like that. So I'm very grateful.
What I remember, you had a lot of energy as a little boy, and this woman engaged you as far as what would work to get your attention. And clearly it's worked because you've been able to turn all of that energy into all these positive channels with regard to everything that you engage in. Let me ask you, one of the things that really impacted me that I think that, it is in addition to the pretty interesting times that we're living in today, you were asked to speak in front of your assembly the year anniversary of the Parkland shootings, which is right next door, the town next door to you. And they asked you to basically use your gift of communication to take something that would seemingly be a devastating, scary, sad time and bringing a boost of powerful, positive, movement in the future so that you can make a difference, which I think is something that is really amazing for you as well as your entire generation at this point and everyone who had gone through that. Let me ask you, when you were writing about the difficulties and the insurmountable times that you experience in life, how do you in fact bring humor to that so that you can take what you've dealt with and use that to benefit many so that they don't feel mired in impossibility like we were talking about before?
So not finding humor, but finding a opportunity, finding positivity and negativity. Is that what the question was?
Yes, correct, exactly.
All right. I feel like that was definitely a chance for we saw the full power of community and the full power of love over hate. And I definitely wanted to capitalize on that in my when I gave my speech to fellow students. But it was definitely seeing that love and the sense of community has definitely had a major effect on me. I'll take that throughout my life, and definitely something I'm grateful for, having such a strong sense of community around me.
So Mr. Spatola adds, as a point of advice for you and your class, to continue using your imagination and never lose your creative juices. Don't let age or expectations of others stifle your dreams and ambitions. So that's a gift that he's giving you right now as well. I do want to ask you, this interview is all about introducing extraordinary people that I've met over the years to the world. So I get the pleasure of introducing you to my community out there right now and sharing with them those insights that you have to offer, because I don't think that someone's age dictates whether or not you speak your truth or not. I think that everyone has something to offer. And the more that we do, in fact, engage and lean in and do what you say you've done, engage in your school and get involved, the better off we are as a community at large. So basically, I wanted to ask you, I know that Saturday Night Live is something that's always impacted you as well, correct? And I know that that's somewhere that you've basically fine-tuned with the movies, of course, your humor. If you were given the opportunity to, incorporate something that you could take with you into your future from all of this, with the humorous side, what would that be? What would you see you doing in the future as far as communications is concerned?
Definitely I'm going to wait and see for college. I'm going to be involved with the communication programs for Boston College and Villanova. Definitely have a big influence, or big, their big messages. We have everything that sprawls in communication, and you're going to take each of them. And you're going to figure out what you like most, what you feel like you can do and help the world with most. So I'm definitely going to take a look at that, whether that be, being a spokesperson, whether that be, being in public relations, whether that be, in media production, whether that be in, even at Saturday Night Live, anything like that. Definitely all my options are open, and I'm waiting to see. I'm hopeful to see what the future holds.
How it unfolds, how exciting, right? I think that's pretty much what you're trying to focus on at this point, is that excitement for the future rather than the fear of perhaps, the future. So I'm really excited to see what you do as far as your abilities to communicate in a different way to engage everyone as well. There's a gentleman named Tyler Katz, and he says, Patrick is my mentor. So Mr. Yes. Katz is speaking out to you. Do you know who Tyler is?
Yes, I know very well who Tyler is. He is a speech and debate comrade of mine. Definitely, I am one of my mentors as well.
Very good. Was he on the boat with you at this particular?
He was on another boat. He was on the sophomore class. Our theme was yacht boy sophomores, so we dressed up as preppy yacht boys, and we drove we decorated a truck as a boat. And
what was the story behind this particular photo that I'm sharing?
That was I was feeling a little patriotic. One of our camp events at the end of the year, it's like a scavenger hunt sort of thing, and at the end they tell you to bring in a boat usually, and so they had to drag in this boat. So I had this American flag with me, and I just stepped on top of the boat and put it, very poetic.
You look a little George Washington-ish here. Is that what you were going for?
We're going for, across the Potomac. Definitely a sort of patriotic vibe. Definitely with July 4th that just happened, I had a little patriotic flair in me.
Oh, I love it. The patriotic flair. And I'm sure people appreciated that as well. You look very proud at the end of your boat.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am very proud.
Yes. And I think that one of the things that I love about you is also that, you take something that really is patriotic and you make it even more engaging for those who watch you. I wanted to ask you, like, literally with what's going on in the world right now, what is your sense on the country right now, as far as, where you guys are, where you feel like you're going to go with it?
I definitely think our group of Gen Z are going to make a positive difference on this country and the world as a whole. I definitely think that our possibilities are endless. You see a lot of political activism in a lot of our community specifically, and definitely I see that in a lot of communities of high schoolers and middle schoolers around the world. So I think that's going to be a message for change. I think people are going to be involved. People definitely going to lead to more opportunities in the future.
It's very exciting for me to hear that everyone wants to engage and get involved. What do you think is the running impetus behind that? What is the push behind that?
Definitely in my community, it's a lot of gun violence. People want to make a change, as referencing the Parkland shooting before.
Yeah.
And besides that, that was like a spark, and now people just want to be involved everywhere, and actually want to make a difference and make real change.
I really want to show everyone this because this was a really proud moment for our family. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this? This is when you played at Carnegie Hall with your band members, correct?
That's correct. Yes, that is correct.
Tell us a little bit about that and your experience with your orchestra, your participation in the symphony in the orchestra.
Yeah, so our wind ensemble was, we were granted the permission to go to Carnegie Hall. We actually won a contest, or our video was deemed acceptable for the Carnegie Hall people. So we got to play in a performance there in a festival. Definitely a once in a lifetime experience. I know my grandfather, he was in a spelling bee at Carnegie Hall in not millions of years ago, but Poppy, a couple hundred, tens of years ago.
I think he appreciates you not saying millions years ago, but yeah, that's awesome. Yes.
Yeah, it definitely. He said it definitely brought growing up in New York definitely brought a tear to his eye, and I felt like I feel like the music we made and the group of people we just did a phenomenal job, I think, and just that experience that'll be one I'll never forget.
And how did it feel when you were on the stage at Carnegie Hall and looking up at everyone and playing? You played what instrument again, Patrick?
The trombone. Yes, the trombone.
The trombone. Yes. And the pieces that you played, do you recall what they were?
I know the tunes, but I can't recall the exact names of them. Okay. But it definitely, I know Poppy, my grandpa, said that he listened to them while studying for medical school. So he said that those were that's what specifically got him very emotional. Yeah, I think definitely I could feel like the rush of history through that like historic Carnegie Hall. Definitely thinking about the people that have come before, and just it was just a crazy experience. I can't really put into words.
Yeah, no, it was really exciting for everyone to watch you too. Certainly your school was definitely present as far as the people who showed up. And yes, all the family members, the 20 plus family and friends that came to see you were super proud. And I don't think I had ever been to Carnegie Hall from what I recall. So we were really proud. And look at all the things that you brought as far as your experiences to step in and engage at your school that you've offered because of the fact that you are, ready to take on the challenges and be involved. I think that's incredibly impressive. I certainly think that, let me ask you, as far as those who have inspired you throughout your life at this point, is there a particular teacher that you can recall that may have left a lasting impression, the most profound impression, perhaps?
Definitely my 8th grade history teacher, Mr. Greco. He was also my offensive line football instructor, definitely coach. So definitely he's been with me for the journey from 7th grade to 12th grade. And I'm definitely very happy, very grateful that I had him as a teacher and as a mentor and a coach. His teaching style and his coaching style were something that I definitely, if I am ever teaching something or ever, with a group of people where I have to give a message, I definitely think of that in my head.
So I just want to point out that Mike Spatola says that my generation is depending on you, Patrick. You and your classmates must be change agents. We're counting on you. So putting a lot of wonderful, wonderful, optimistic pressure on you, at least as far as we believe in the fact that you will be assets to the future of this country and the world. It's very exciting, I think. How does that make you feel?
It's a lot of pressure, but I feel like it's something that we're definitely up for. Definitely the challenge is waiting to be accepted by our generation. So
yeah, I think if you had the opportunity to thank someone who had an incredible influence on your life other than Mr. Greco at this point, who would it be and why?
Someone who has had an impact on my I'd probably say my first boss, Bobby Ciccone. Definitely has had a great impact on my life. Michael, your son's also boss, Bobby Ciccone, Mr. Ciccone. He is definitely, as a boss and as just someone I've known over the years, definitely implemented on me a great work ethic and knowing seeing or hearing from him on his insight on the stuff that goings on of our job definitely is something that I will cherish.
So certainly people who've shown interest in your life and your career certainly have left an impression, and you'll take that with you perhaps to mentor others into creative, excitement and everything that comes with that. Is that something that you can pay for at this point?
Wait, can you read that one more time? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I said that someone who actually shows interest and sees potential in you, now that you are turning into a young man, an adult, and going out into the world, you can turn around and pay it forward to others at this point. I think that that's really exciting. Let me ask you with regard to what is the one thing, and I'm going to ask this because I really am curious, what is the one thing that your parents have given you now that you're graduating that you can take with you to the future and beyond that would be something that would have made a difference beyond?
Well, I'm taking with me a college tuition that's physical. So thank you, Mom and Dad. And just a sense of family and a sense of friendship and family that I won't, definitely is important in a human being, to have that sense of compassion, that sense of friendship, that sense of family. That's definitely something that's definitely going to last, had a lasting impact on me, and I'll try to implement wherever I go.
And let me ask you, what does family mean to you, Patrick?
Family, in the biological sense, is the ones close to you, the ones that you live with. But family is the people that are there for you in your ups and downs, the people that are there for you, when you need help, the people that are there for you at your highs, and the people that are there at your lows. Definitely, your friends and family are there. The people that are there for you are the people that really care about you, and you don't forget those people.
I often believe, and I think that this can go a long way as far as, perspective is concerned. I always say that we are where we are because and in spite of our family, literally, because, you rebel against what things are, and also you embrace suddenly what you've been offered and you've been introduced to. And I think that, having those wonderful attributes will take us to the next part of our interview, because when I think about you, I am hopeful. And I really say this with every bone in my body. I get excited because, a lot of people think that it's on us. And when you're seeing kids or young adults like you guys come behind us, and what you bring, and what savvy and what clear, not just technological skills, but you're dealing with the world very different than when we were graduating, when I was graduating. So, how you engage and how you empower others. That's my question right now. How would you empower those who aren't as inspired as you to step in and engage and be a part of the solution?
Definitely, I would think, if you're not so motivated to do something, just think about, what you could do, the possibilities, the opportunities that could, and the problem solving that could be taking place if you, put in the extra work, put in the extra effort. Insurmount these things that could happen, things that could be changed. It's really has no limit. So just think about that whenever you.
So you want people to at least look at what they're passionate about as well, because I think that that's one of the things that really kind of drives you, is your passion for life, really, for to enjoy life. And I think that we talked about this when we were talking about life purpose. Do you remember what it was when you said, what was your life purpose in this world?
Oh, it was to bring joy. I think that was the end.
That was the gist?
That was the gist, correct.
That was the gist. Well, you were also able to articulate well that you wanted to be able to communicate in such a way that you would engage the audience and bring joy and open their eyes to different things. And I think that really is something that is really a skill that you do have. So these kind of conversations with extraordinary people like yourself can be catalysts for others to understand how they want to feel alive or passionate on a daily basis, and really understand their life purpose. So it's time to manifest, Patrick. Right now, I want to know what's important to you in your life.
What's important to me in my life is definitely don't be afraid to use your creative side. Definitely that goes with our whole manifestation here. Is definitely don't be afraid to be creative. Don't be afraid to think out of the box. I think the best solutions are out of the box answers, and things people haven't thought about before. That's why they're the solutions. So I definitely think that's something to look for.
I like it, out of the box thinking. And what do you prioritize now that you're about to move away, hopefully next year, from your parents onto a whole new chapter, going to college?
Something I'm taking. Something I've said it before. It's something, again, with the creativity is, trying to think. Something that
So like you're like prioritizing now that you're moving away and like starting a whole new chapter. What are the things that you want to explore and engage in and get excited about now that you're moving from high school, moving on to a next bigger world in college?
Definitely, I'm going to look forward to the opportunities that I'm going to have. Definitely going to keep that in mind, keep an open mind. That's what my school has taught me, and that's what my life experience have taught me so far, as far as to keep an open mind. I know, I forgot, someone said this, I was listening to something recently, like a podcast recently, but they were saying, someone said, I need, it was like related to their job, and it was like, but it was something they didn't really know how to do. But they're like, "Can you do this? I need someone for this job." And so you say yes, and then you learn how to do it. You don't close off any opportunities. You jump headfirst into them. So I definitely think that's something.
You have to jump in to the opportunities. I like that. Michaelie's here. Michaelie's here to actually ask the last question. So I do have a guest interviewer now, my son Michael, who wants to ask the future, looking forward, as next year he's going to be a senior too. He gets to ask you what is what. Now go for it. You get your one question now. Yeah.
What is the number one thing that you took away from your senior year?
My number one thing I take away from the senior year, definitely going to be value the little things. Look around, stop and smell the roses. Ferris Bueller. If life goes by pretty fast, if you don't stop and look around every once in a while, you might miss it. So definitely don't take advantage of things you have. Be very grateful for them. Look around and be grateful, be appreciative of the little things that are around you. So
you hear that?
Very wise, Scanlon.
Very wise, very wise. So how can you, based on your values, start to engage in those things like you're just saying now? Stopping and smelling the roses these last couple weeks of school and aligning yourself with all of the magic that's waiting for you, Patrick. All the creativity that's bursting out in May.
May is definitely going to be an experience. Well, it already is an experience. We're halfway through it. But definitely, again, stop and smell the roses. Like when you're in school, little things, saying hi to your friends, actually being able to shake someone's hand. Didn't think I would need to take that for granted, but it was it.
Wow.
And just greeting people and just interacting with human beings, not over a screen and in real life. Enjoy the moment. Exactly, Mary Scanlon, my mother.
I think that really is what very profound that you said. Shaking hands, the little things. I mean, the connection and the experience, engaging with people on a face-to-face. It's not plugged in. I don't know what's going on. So I think that at this point in time, I would love for you to share best tools for those who are graduating to make the most of these last couple of weeks now that we're getting into the end.
Mm-hmm. Definitely the communication skills that you will need. Definitely know going forward that, whatever profession you pursue, you're going to need to talk to people. You're going to need to, have converse with people. You're going to need to, to get that job, you're going to have that job interview, that job application that's going to be noticeable and stand out. So definitely, improve on your communication skills, definitely study hard. Exactly. And put your best foot forward.
And let me ask you this, now that your last couple of weeks is what, this week?
We have 2 more weeks remaining for seniors at my school.
Oh, wow. And then what happens after that? What do you have to look forward to this part?
Then after that, we have hopefully summer camp, if local camps are deemed essential by that point, and June 8th. And walk-on graduation in July, and then college in August. So hopefully all those things go according to plan. Hopefully we start getting back to normal life. Hopefully things start to,
I think that one of the things that we started off with at the beginning was you had said, your mother says you want to get 5s on your AP's exam. Right. You see that, right? Yeah.
Yes, I see it.
She's not kidding. She's not kidding. Finish strong, baby. Finish strong. I think that, what you were talking about at the outset, was closure and how you wanted to get closure now that it's going to be a different way. It's not going to be what you thought it was going to look like. It's going to be a little differently. So what exactly does that look like to you that would make you feel as a sense of, closure at the end of your high school career?
Well, the ideal closure would be going back to school for a day, running through that whole schedule. But I know that's not not on the table right now. So closure would probably be that graduation ceremony, that that turning of the tassel, that throwing the hat in the air, that going to camp with lovely Tracy Scone, my other boss. That would be definitely a sense of closure for my senior friends and I, and being able to see my friends one last time, my whole class, it would just be something else.
Together, huh? Like, how many people are graduating your class, Patrick?
Probably around 250, 300 people.
And is everybody mostly staying in town, or are they going out to other parts of the country as well?
I think all plans are out of country stuff is put on hiatus at the moment. I think we're hopefully all going to be here in July, be able to celebrate together, being able to, have that sense of closure as a group.
Yeah.
I think much needed.
Yeah. And you said you have your APs next week, your AP exams, and when is your last day? I'm sorry?
I have 2 AP exams next week, one on Monday and one on Friday, which Friday is the last day of school. So that day we'll have senior cap and gown pickup from the school. There's actually this thing, decorate your cars in your college gear. You're going to go around the loop and pick up your stuff. So definitely, I think, being able to do that and getting our senior blankets, getting our yearbooks and stuff like that will definitely give a sense of relief, a sense of, semi-closure for students.
I do want to highlight some other things that you're involved in. The city of Coconut Creek asked you to be participating in a public service campaign, basically, with regard to keeping people inspired. Can you speak to that as well?
Yeah, so they asked the senior presidents in the city of Coconut Creek, that being Monarch and Atlantic Technical High School, Coconut Creek High, and North Broward. I think there's one more in there, but they asked us all to come together in the center of Coconut Creek, the promenade area, to they were going to have this message of hope and inspiration called Rise. So they were going to have us film that, and it was going to be they were going to edit it together, make it a sort of inspirational thing to send out to the Coconut Creek student population. So I think hopefully when that gets sent out, I will send it to you. But hopefully that comes out soon. Hopefully you're able to see it. Hopefully
I'm very excited to see it. And also, make sure before the end, we're going to put the Iguana Tours. Correct? Tell us a little bit about that. What happened with that?
So the Iguana Tours was a very interesting idea. I made the feature documentary. We'll put in the link below. But it was an idea I created with my friends. It started off sort of absurd, again, with the impossible idea and seeing what could work from that. So we wanted like a Disney ride at our lunch activity instead of like the usual karaoke, the usual, field day activities. So we decided to create this golf cart ride that would loop around the campus. You would see iguanas, you would see all this nature stuff, and you'd be interacted with. We had this guy in a blow up dinosaur costume, this guy in an iguana head. It's definitely the whole tour, making this whole Disney experience, and it would loop back, and you'd go through this whole line. You'd see like a ride safety video. It was definitely a big task, but now that we've done it, definitely something that is going to be on people's top lists of top remembrances of high school.
Yeah, and how are you inspired to come up with the idea for the Iguana Tour?
That was definitely Walt Disney himself. Jungle Cruise was definitely a top inspiration there. We were cracking jokes. We were seeing the Walt Disney wanted real animals in the Jungle Cruise, and he had to settle for fake animals. And then they ended up, delivering him real animals in their Animal Kingdom ride, Kilimanjaro Safaris. So definitely, I feel like we took a little bit of his inspiration here. Definitely a lot of inspiration by making jokes, going through our school's nature preserve. Definitely, again, don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah, and just for those in the world who don't know what iguanas are, what are iguanas that have just shown up in
iguanas are reptiles, invasive species that have not destroyed. Actually, maybe it's destroyed some ecosystems, but they definitely are a presence on campus. I don't know if it's a good presence or a bad presence, but my mother finds them vile and disgusting. But I think they're. I mean, some of them are disgusting, but some of them are little lizards. So definitely a cool thing to see on campus, like a reptile sort of thing.
Oh, very cool. And like I said before, we'll put the show in the feed so others can benefit from your incredible creativity. Certainly, you definitely give us a lot of things to laugh about as far as what comes up from your imagination, Patrick, and definitely it sounds to me like you engage your student body as well, because definitely I would never have seen anything like that. Walt Disney would be proud of you, Patrick Scanlon. Walt Disney would be very proud. For sure. So now that we're winding things up this evening, I definitely have enjoyed this conversation with you and your intention tonight. So why don't you put in your own words what your intention was for this interview tonight as we contemplate how creativity has impacted your life and how you mentor others clearly by, coming up with these kind of ideas like the Iguana Tour and engaging your student body as well to join in the fun, and mentoring others to basically, like you said, step up to the table and engage and jump outside the box of what would be considered the norm to perhaps something that engaging in your imagination. What is the intention for the conversation tonight?
I think the intention is probably, shoot for the moon. Even if you'll miss, you'll land amongst the stars. I feel like if you really, go out of the box for whatever you're trying to do, whether it's small things like trying to get your campers to brush their teeth before bed, like trying to make Braden Saccone brush his teeth before bed, stuff like that. Go outside the box, try to make it a game of sorts. Or if you're trying to make a homecoming lunch activity, go for the Jungle Cruise-esque, golf tour ride. If you're trying to become president of your school, try to, have a speech that includes everyone and doesn't take yourself too seriously. So definitely be creative, think outside the box. It'll get you places.
That's awesome. So what number would you pick from my book between, I think it's 3 and 397?
I'll pick 52. That's my football number. So
52. Okay. So this is going to speak to your think outside the box. Don't take yourself too seriously and enjoy literally the ride. So number 52 is live, laugh, love. So I think this might be ordained from my mother, clearly, as Grammy has the Italian proverb written in our kitchen at our home. And this is the quote: live passionately, laugh out loud, and love unconditionally. Or in Italian, viva bene, di risalto molto e spesso l'amore. And this is the insight for you, Patrick, that's geared only towards you as you jump out onto this next incredible adventure in your journey in life that we get to all watch you and exciting and celebrate with you. Figure out what you're passionate about and what makes you excited to get out of bed in the morning. Surround yourself with people who find humor in life so they don't take themselves too seriously. I swear to God, that's what it says. Tune in to the most powerful force of energy in the universe, the energy that allows you to move mountains and bring miracles. When you marry a life of passion with healing laughter and add in the purest form of love, your life changes before you. When you see your life as a series of chances where you can learn to live, laugh, and love through deepened experiences with friends, families, and even strangers, then you begin to know that each day is a gift to be discovered and cherished. You are not alone, but with those who have been placed on your path. Each day, with awareness, you contact your teachers who will help you further proceed on your path to live your purpose and who will laugh and experience love with you. It is in these daily contacts that you discover truth. Just sit in the awareness of this mantra for living and don't mistake these words as too simplistic. It is in their simplicity that they are the most powerful. Just take one day at a time, one word at a time, and just for today, seek to be with the people and remember to live passionately, laugh out loud, and love unconditionally. It is there that you will find all the joy that life has to offer. So there's your joy, Patrick. Repeat the mantra, live, laugh, love. So with that, Patrick Scanlon, I am going to give you one more opportunity to send everybody. Oh, and Mary, your mom wants you to say it in Mandarin. Oh, and we put if I had dun, 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 dun. I should have anybody here singing it because that's so good. Bravo. There you go, Patrick. So leave us with all of us, everybody, the people who are graduating in 2020, the people who are in quarantine and feeling very frustrated, the people who look to our government for inspiration, the people who are not inspired, everybody, unite this country with your final words of inspiration, Patrick Scanlon, as only you could share it with the world. Go for it.
I'm going to have to quote Monty Python here and say, always look on the bright side of life. Definitely look for the positives and the negatives. Look for the bright lights in the otherwise dark world that we live in. Definitely try to be positive and have that positive outlook, and it will definitely, if not change everyone, change one person, and that one person will go on to change another person, and that you don't know how far that smile or that positive energy will go. So
wow,
that's all.
So always look on the bright side of life. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. There you go. And I won't sing it, but thank you so much. That was awesome. I think that we all need a little bit of the bright side of life, certainly when, you know, you're going to fire it up like your father is saying. So thank you very much, Patrick Scanlon. And like I said, keep an eye on this guy because his future is definitely bright. He's going to offer a lot of wonderful creative insights for the rest of the world. I can't wait to see. Well, put it this way. I have been so proud of what I've seen thus far, and I can't wait to see what you do with your life. I will be one of the biggest cheerleaders, you know, as such, because I'm your godmother, and I just adore you. I think you're an amazing kid. And I can't really wait to see what the next chapter unfolds. So I just want you to all take that insight. Always look on the bright side of life with Patrick. And certainly you are a part of your manifestation of your dreams to live the life you want, live with your purpose and passion. I certainly am excited to wish Patrick a happy birthday on the 15th. Yes, May 15th, right? May 15th, it's his birthday. So we are all lucky when this kid was born into this world. He's going to do great things. And you certainly give me great hope and inspiration for the future. Plus, my son looks up to you very greatly, and I can't wait to see what you both do. Yes, thank you for that about your last part of your senior year for him. It's definitely going to get them through as well. Congratulations to you and your entire class of 2020 for what you've done. I want you to celebrate your hard work, and as you graduate, understand that you've gotten yourself this far. Your family's there to celebrate with you. It's been an incredible opportunity to talk to you. Thank you so much. I know that I probably guilted you into doing this, so I'm really grateful at this point. You are bringing magic to this world and helping us all, to inspire us all to elevate our lives and recognize our own potential, that we are in fact possible. So thank you, Patrick. Thank you all for listening tonight. Thank you for the wonderful support of Patrick as well with all the comments. You are deliberate creators of your life. Let your souls be guided by your dreams, and let's all raise the positive vibration on this planet so we can all live out our bliss, enjoy the magic and miracles, and shine your beautiful light. Until next time in May, as to creativity, manifest the most beautiful life you can imagine. Let's love ourselves exactly where we are, reach out to each other, and continue to spread love, blessings, and bliss. Patrick, I love you. Congratulations. You are an incredible, incredible young man.
Thank you, Aunt Aggie. Thank you very much.
All right. Good night, everybody.